Making the move from city to countryside is often a momentous step.
Oh wow, wisteria up the front. Butterflies for this one.
And for many years, Escape to the Country has been supporting countless people on rural adventures.
Oh, wow.
It's beyond my wildest dreams.
We've travelled to the most picturesque pockets of Britain.
What's going through your mind?
Okay. I've got tingles. I'm hoping those are tears of joy.
To showcase thousands of exquisite country properties.
That's beautiful.
This is perfect.
I think this is awesome.
Not all missions are straightforward.
Look at that face. Look at that face.
But they are often invaluable journeys that can lead to a whole new way of life.
Can't believe that we've found this beautiful house in a beautiful village in a beautiful county.
So join us as we catch up with those who transformed their lives when they escaped to the country. We all have our own motivation for a potential relocation to the countryside. It could be retirement or a new job opportunity, the desire to be closer to loved ones, or simply the need to immerse ourselves a little bit more in nature. Today I'm going to be meeting up with previous friends of the show who all had very different reasons for wanting to make their escape. But the one thing they all had in common was that they wanted to move here to beautiful Norfolk. The largest county in East Anglia, Norfolk plays host to both of today's escapes. A little later on, I'll be dropping in on Kim and Emma, who sought out Ginny Buckley's help back in September of 2020. But first, I'll be meeting up with Steve and Jenny to find out how they got on after their Norfolk tour with Johnny Owen in October 2017. Retired emergency service workers from Kent, Steve and Jenny first met back in 2002 under rather steamy circumstances.
We both used to be avid gym goers, and I'd finished a workout. So Jenny, and I went in the steam room to relax, and Jenny was in there. We got talking.
Yeah, didn't stop talking to me.
No, you wouldn't stop talking to me.
I was dry like a prune by the time I got out.
Within 2 years, they'd bought and renovated their first home together in Margate, where they were still living with their daughters, 10-year-old Izzy and Jessie, who was 20. A move to the countryside was now on the cards to accommodate Steve's elderly parents, along with 4 cats, dog Dino and a couple of horses.
I just want to be able to give something back to my parents that they gave to me when I was young.
Steve and Jenny had spent more than 30 years in high-pressure careers and were now hoping a change of scenery would take the tempo down a little.
When I joined the fire service when I was 18, I was quite mild-mannered. And gradually, over the years, it hardens you emotionally, and you get to a stage in your life where you just want a little bit of a slower pace in life.
And for me, it's about being able to finally take off my boots, if you like, and finally fully relax.
They'd set their sights on the county of Norfolk, where they could afford more space to cater for the whole ensemble. Jenny and Steve were in search of a detached house with a minimum of 3 bedrooms with a large family kitchen. Although flexible on style, they required the potential for a separate 2-bedroom annex for Steve's parents. They were also in need of at least 3 acres of land for their horses. With a generous budget of £900,000, it was Johnny Owen who was ready to get the show on the road. Their search began in the centre of the county, in the village of Bawdswell.
Wow.
Wow! Pretty.
Yeah, wow.
Good.
Lovely.
Pretty.
I
Yeah.
love the flint. It's a new build.
Built in 2007. Shall we go inside?
Absolutely.
Come on.
This brick and flint modern family home boasted a number of character features, starting with the grand entrance hall and leading through to the sitting room.
Love the fireplace.
French doors opening out, you can just see the paddocks.
Yeah, those paddocks look interesting.
But there was a whole house to discover before the intriguing outside would be revealed. So next it was on to the kitchen.
That's a huge kitchen. Your eyes have lit up at that.
Yeah, they
haven't
have.
Lovely. It's heart of the home, just for having a cup of tea with your mates and entertaining, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's a hub of the house.
The rest of the ground floor offered a snug just off the kitchen, a large dining room and a study with doors out to the garden, as well as a utility room. Above, there were 4 well-proportioned double bedrooms, 2 with ensuite facilities, as well as a large family bathroom. A 5th single room was in use as a walk-in wardrobe.
Right. Space is not an issue in this house, is it? Look at the size of this room.
It's huge.
Another huge room.
Yeah.
Wake up there, views over the paddocks.
Check the horses in the morning.
Yeah.
Got some character to
I
it.
think if I had a choice and made my house from scratch, this is probably what I would have created.
Wow. Well, you can't get better than that then, can you? Let's go outside and look at that land for the horses.
Yes, please.
The outside space consisted of a large level lawn surrounding the house, 3 acres of paddock and a tack room with 3 ready-made stables. There was no existing annex, but a detached double garage provided scope for conversion.
OK. All in, plot size, 4.5 acres.
OK.
Good, eh?
Good. Yeah, it's good.
The asking price for this house is offers above £700,000.
Wow.
That's really good news.
£200,000 under budget, this 5-bedroomed property delivered on many levels and left enough money to transform the garage for Steve's parents.
I'm quite taken aback, actually. The land's perfect, the stables are perfect. It's a cracking house.
I think Steve's parents would really like this property. They would be over the moon with the space and the fact that they could just come in and see us on occasions and be a part of the family.
The next property proposal took our couple to Old Buckenham in the south of the county. Just over a mile from the village, Johnny presented them with this.
This is the original farmhouse. That is the original barn that came with the farmhouse, with some more recently added outbuildings here. Which one to see first? Pick a property.
That one, house.
Big one, come on.
The original 1860s farmhouse had been extended and altered over the years, with some parts now in need of a little modernising.
Traditional farmhouse kitchen now. What do you think?
It's still a lovely kitchen.
It's perfectly workable.
I mean, our kitchen we had to raise the height because we're both tall.
It's tough up there, isn't it, for you lot? Yeah. Mind your head.
The ground floor also had a utility room, a separate dining space and a large dual-aspect sitting room. Upstairs there was a family bathroom and 4 equally sized double rooms, one served by an ensuite. With a huge part of this move focused on the annex, that was the next port of call. The converted old barn was all on one level with 2 bedrooms at one end and a kitchen at the other. Bridging the two, the main entrance opened onto an impressive open-plan living and dining room.
Wow, this is lovely.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
That is magnificent.
We can have this and let your mum and dad have this.
Well,
Really, really lovely.
let me show you the kitchen. Come with me.
Wow. I keep saying wow. This is lovely.
So you're welling up a bit, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I am. It's really lovely. I didn't expect that anything would be this good for them.
It's beyond anything we imagined,
Yeah.
without doubt.
All in, the property came with just over 5 acres, including the paddocks, some existing stables and a garage housing an office. The paved patio was an ideal spot for family barbecues, and the lawned front garden had plenty of space for Steve and his dad to grow their fruit and veg.
Let's talk about this land then. It's all that you can see, really.
Really?
All the way up to that oak tree.
Oh my God.
OK.
I didn't think you'd render me speechless. It's quite a difficult thing to do.
How much do you think this emotionally charging property is on the market for?
I'm going to say 850,000.
I am going to say 860.
Spot on.
Really?
£860,000.
£40,000 under budget, this dated farmhouse and incredible barn presented a near-perfect solution for Jenny, Steve and his parents.
Walking into the annex and knowing the taste of my parents and what they need, it was overwhelming. It was spectacular.
There's no negatives about the property that I can see. I'm a bit blown away.
As day one drew to a close, Johnny had 2 very successful property tours under his belt, which of course meant that he could really test Jenny and Steve with the mystery house. The following day, our property search concluded in the mid-Norfolk village of East Tuddenham, where Johnny was about to throw the cat amongst the pigeons.
You said you didn't want a listed property, so I brought you to a listed property.
Actually, you're right.
Of course I did!
The mystery house may have been Grade 2 listed, but the interior presented a masterclass in how to convert a barn into a beautiful home.
Look at that!
Look at that ceiling.
I think you're all right for head art here, Steve.
I think just about, yeah, no ducking.
That is truly marvellous.
Let's start with the living room.
That's very light. Wasn't expecting it to be that light.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It is, it's lovely.
Really, really nice. And it's really cosy.
There you go. Yes, hey.
Yeah.
Big room, yet cosy.
The other highlights on the ground floor included a guest-friendly bedroom, a characterful study and an open dining space which flowed through to the stylish country kitchen. The first floor was home to a further 3 double bedrooms, with the 5th and final bed up in the eaves. Back downstairs there was an area of the house still to be explored.
Right at the other end, through that door, you've got a room with a couple of small rooms off it, fully plumbed, ready to install a bathroom, whatever you want. You've got space for another bedroom here, and your link up is through that middle part there.
It's not a lot of work, really. Just studs.
Up for that.
Yeah.
With the accommodation for the family sorted, it was just the horses left to deal with. Outside, the grounds extended to a total of 4.5 acres and included an enclosed paddock. Beyond the main garden was woodland with a very special surprise.
Look at this!
Oh my days. What have you done?
You said you like a bit of fishing.
Yeah. Well, you've lost me at the end of the garden.
It's a true mystery house, isn't it?
Absolutely.
What's not to like?
The asking price is £800,000.
Wow.
That's a lot of house for 800,000.
That is a lot of house.
This incredible Grade 2 listed mystery barn conversion came in £100,000 under budget and didn't require much to make it the ideal multi-generational family home.
It's stunning, quite simply stunning. We didn't want Grade 2 listed, but Johnny's opened our eyes.
Johnny pulled out all the stops on this property search, in each case providing that potential to create the perfect place for Steve and Jenny's extended family and their 4-legged friends. I can't wait to find out what became of them. When Johnny left Jenny and Steve, they were split on the first 2 properties and had been planning to go back for a second viewing on both before making a decision. But in the end, they decided not to pursue either of our properties and ended up here. Their new home in the Norfolk countryside is this striking former farmhouse in a rural village 15 miles north of Thetford. And judging by the look and sound of things, they're being kept busy. Hello, Jenny,
Hi.
Steve. Lovely to meet you both.
You too.
This is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you found somewhere.
It's been hard work.
Tell me all about it.
Come in.
The couple paid £780,000 for the farmhouse in May 2019, And since then, they've been on a constant renovation mission. Starting with the all-important annex, they've created a wonderfully bright and comfortable living space. Work to the main house includes a new roof, contemporary clad and render to the exterior, plus a smart new oak-framed porch. They've also replaced all the rotting windows and doors and installed a bespoke oak staircase, but there's still a lot more work to be done inside. What was your first impression then when you came to see this place?
I was over the moon.
I wanted to run away.
Steve wanted to run.
He's still here.
I am, yeah.
Barely. We're tired. We're really tired. Yeah.
Did you?
Work.
I mean, you were up for a bit of a project on an annex.
Yeah, this is a lot more than just an annex. The
Yeah.
entire house is still stuck in 1980 when the house was built.
So the plan is really do the house bit by bit. You got the annex done, and then
Yeah, I mean, we decided to focus on the barns instead of the house, converting those to holiday lets.
They certainly have grand plans for their 10 acres of land and outbuildings. But before I explore out there, I'm having more of a nosy around the house.
This is our kitchen.
This is huge.
It is. It's massive.
Wow. And it connects nicely with this dining room bit.
Hoping to link that through and have an open plan area.
Great idea. Because you'll get so much light from that front window, and you'll have a huge kitchen diner.
We've got a little area where I can actually cook from now. But before we were living on takeaways a lot. Yeah, I cheated quite a lot in the early days.
It's not called cheating, it's called surviving. Does it feel like home or not really?
I think until you put your stamp on it, I don't think it'll ever quite feel like home. It will be lovely when it's done.
I get the feeling that's probably a bit of a mantra for Steve and Jenny at the moment. Clearly the focus has shifted from the house, which needed serious and immediate attention, to their longer-term goals of the land and the business. They now have planning in place to convert the barns into 3 holiday lets, which will bring in essential funds. But I don't remember anyone mentioning holiday lets to Johnny, so I'm going to have to do a bit of digging here. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I thought you were retiring.
Yeah, so did I.
We're far busier now than we ever were in emergency services.
Shall we start where Johnny left you? Because you were meant to go see 2 of our houses. Did you ever go see them?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So what happened with house 2? Then in the end it didn't work out, not enough land or
We didn't sell.
We hadn't sold at that
We
stage.
didn't sell.
And we did say on the search criteria that we wanted outbuildings. That was essential, which it was. We didn't elaborate as to our holiday lets venture that we wanted to do, because we just felt it was going to overcomplicate everything.
As if renovating a house and holiday lets wasn't enough, Jenny has basically become a farmer. As well as her own horse, they inherited 2 more with the land and are grazing a beautiful pair of belted Galloways. She's also adopted 8 chickens, which quickly multiplied. At last count, there were 121. But her 2 daughters, Jess and Izzy, don't seem to mind the menagerie of animals and appear fully on board with country life. Do you have this sense of relief that the girls are settled and actually this was the thing that you were looking for overall?
Relief, but it's also like a calmness. A calmness waves over you as like, I've done it, it's done. I've been talking about this since I was in my late 20s, wanting a small holding, wanting a rural life.
And do you think having the animals around is sort of also...
It's calming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Younger daughter Izzy definitely looks calm and at peace here. I've never seen anyone ride a cow. I think she's very much at home here. In many ways, I'm so amused by what you've done, because you've kind of gone full on country farm life, haven't you? You're not messing about here.
Yeah, we didn't do anything by heart.
Well, you seem happy for it.
It's very tiring, but it is very rewarding.
There's no doubt they've gone for the fully immersive experience. But there is an aspect of this transition we haven't really touched on yet. One of the big parts of the move was wanting space for your parents,
Yes.
Steve. And in the end, you ended up moving 2 years after you left Johnny.
We did. Unfortunately, my mum died just before my father moved up here.
So your mum never got to
She never got here, unfortunately. My dad joined us, but he was never the same after my mum died. We tried to give him the best life we could here, but he just wasn't the same person without my mum.
Sadly, Steve's dad, George, passed away just a few months before my visit, only a year and a half after moving to be with his family.
It sounds like it's been a tough few years for you, especially, because a lot of the move was about bringing your parents here, and then sadly you lost them. And still the right move for you as a family of 4, with all the animals. Would you have done anything differently?
Oh, no, I don't think I would. Looking back, the lifestyle is fantastic, it really is.
So I think seeing them now, I'm not sure many people would know they haven't grown up in a place like this.
Well, they both love it. I mean, Jessie has grown up with horses. Izzy, yeah, she's taken more time to settle from Kent, but she loves it here now, she really does.
It's often said that where one door closes, another one opens. In this case, Jenny's mum and stepdad decided to up sticks from Kent and follow the family to Norfolk, bringing 3 generations together again. They've been through a lot on their rural journey, and before I go, I have one last question for the couple.
In hindsight, still the right move, despite everything that's happened?
Yeah.
It's not that life is better, life is different. It's a different quality. I've got everything that I ever wanted. Steve is a lot busier than he wanted.
What advice would you give to someone thinking about the same thing?
Don't walk into it thinking it's all going to be roses, because it is not. You will have ups and you will have downs. It's great, but it's a hard slog.
For you, you were saying this was what you wanted.
This has been my lifelong dream.
We really are spoilt here in the UK by the incredible variety of rural locations. So deciding exactly where to pursue ambitions of the good life is no mean feat. Fortunately, that wasn't a problem for our next buyers, who knew from their very first date that both of them had dreams of escaping here to Norfolk.
One of the bizarre things with regards to our relationship was I mentioned to Emma really early on about Norfolk, and Emma said to me, "That's the place I want to retire to." And I said, "Really?" And I was like, "This is good, this relationship's going to go far."
Like-minded couple Kim and Emma had met online 6.5 years earlier. They were living just outside Luton in Bedfordshire, where Emma worked for Royal Mail and Kim was a PE teacher.
We've got the M1 virtually at the bottom of the garden, and also we are on the flight path for Luton Airport. We're just looking forward to
cleaner air.
Cleaner air, definitely. The property that we're in now is a 2-bedroom cottage, so when we move we are looking to have a larger house, which will make entertaining much easier.
That's important for us, isn't it, that we have enough room that people can come and stay and enjoy the coast.
And also more room to have a rescue dog or 2 or 3.
Hang on a minute, we've gone to 3 now, it was 2 before.
They may have had 1 or 2 points to iron out, but they were both in agreement that it was time for a change of scenery.
The move to Norfolk is even more special because this will be our first house that we buy together. As much as I always say to Kim, this is your home as well, I think you've always felt that...
My home's still in the loft.
Yeah, I think it's time to check out a new county.
And they were in no doubt that Norfolk should be their next location.
Part of the move will be that I leave Royal Mail and I'd like to do some work with horses or dogs. There are quite a few sanctuaries up in Norfolk.
For me, it's a bit of a homecoming. I was brought up with a beach hut on Lowestoft Beach. And to be able to go back there, I feel I'm going back to my roots.
Kim and Emma had their sights set on a home for entertaining and required a detached character property with 3 bedrooms, a guest bathroom and a sociable living space. A generous garden was also high on their priority list. Their budget for this move was £450,000. Their property search with Ginny Buckley began in the middle of the county, in the village of Wicklewood.
Lovely curb appeal. Yeah. Really lovely curb appeal, isn't it?
Really nice. Love the sunflowers.
They're beautiful.
I mean, just listen. You can't hear anything. It's so peaceful.
Exactly, yeah. No, definitely. The silence is lovely, isn't it?
This pretty brick and flint cottage dated back to the 1800s. Having recently been renovated, the property combined the very best of period features with modern, spacious living, not least in the living room.
Oh, wow, lovely and light.
Oh, this is like really nice.
Log burner.
Oh, that's so important to us, a log burner.
Really nice. And nice having the French doors to open out onto the sort of patio area as well. Really nice, isn't it? We can see ourselves sitting there with a nice bacon sandwich in the mornings, can't we?
Definitely.
So come take a look at your kitchen, dining, living space.
Amazing. We've always said if you've got an island in your kitchen, you've made it.
Yeah, this is a wow kitchen.
We love entertaining, so to be able to cook and chat to your friends rather than being in two separate rooms, to have that option is really lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice.
Upstairs, the original part of the property housed a family shower room and 2 double bedrooms, along with a smaller single.
So of all the bedrooms, I have a feeling this might be yours.
Oh yes, this would be ours.
Yes, 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 without a shadow of a doubt.
It's got a beautiful ensuite as well, with a nice big bath.
Oh, bath in an ensuite.
Lovely. This is a stunning bedroom.
Yeah.
It's a really nice house. And I've been sort of thinking, you know, where we can put our furniture, so...
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes!
It's a good start.
Yes!
So far, so good. Outside, the front of the property overlooked a lawned garden with a separate seating area. And to the side, there was a secluded courtyard from which to take in the surrounding countryside.
I think the garden is probably an area you're going to have to compromise on. How do you feel about the size?
I'm not sure that it's going to be enough garden.
Being honest, what you want is a ride-on lawnmower, isn't it?
That's my... that is my dream, to have a garden big enough for a ride-on.
Who wants to go first at guessing the price?
I'm going to go at £420,000.
I'm going to go for 425.
So it's actually on the market with a guide price of £425,000.
OK.
At £25,000 under budget, this light and spacious cottage gave Kim and Emma all the interior space they needed for hosting friends and family.
The downstairs of the property is really lovely. The kitchen diner is absolutely stunning.
There's things we would have to compromise on, but overall, you know, definitely a lovely, lovely house.
For Ginny's second serving, they headed towards the Suffolk border and the village of Shelfhanger, just 3 miles from the market town of Diss.
How do you feel about a Tudor thatch?
Oh, very nice.
Very pretty.
Yeah, really, really pretty. Stable door at the front.
Lovely.
Ticks a box for you.
That does tick a box. Love a stable door.
This Grade 2 listed cottage likely had its origins in the early 17th century. The thatch and whitewashed walls of its exterior offered just a hint of the character to be discovered inside.
Really, really lovely.
The fireplace is to die for.
Yeah.
It was 3 cottages originally, and then at the far end was an apple stall.
That's wonderful. Really, really nice.
The kitchen's compact, but it's very pretty.
It is very, very pretty and very cottagey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very cute kitchen, cute country kitchen.
Just off the kitchen was a family bathroom and a convenient boot room. At the other end of the house, a large reception area could have been the perfect spot for hosting.
Beautiful. I'm loving the step down as well.
Yeah.
It's sort of almost giving you 2 little cheeky areas, isn't it?
There's just so much character, isn't there? Another lovely fireplace. Nice and bright as well, considering you've got the dark beams.
There are 3 bedrooms to explore upstairs, and then I'll be waiting in the garden.
OK.
A double bedroom at the top of the stairs provided access to 2 further bedrooms, including a main with an ensuite.
Oh, mind your head, Em.
Oh, OK.
A bit slopey there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not liking the bulging walls.
No?
It feels like I'm in a tent. It's making me feel claustrophobic.
OK.
Outside, there was ample space in the well-established gardens for alfresco dining with friends.
It is a nice plot. I mean, definitely have a nice area up this end and still plenty of room to entertain down the other end.
So how much do you think that this Tudor thatch is on the market for?
I think this is on at £450,000.
OK.
I think it's probably on for £440,000.
It's on the market for £375,000.
No way. I'm astounded, actually.
This Tudor cottage met all of Kim and Emma's requirements on paper, though a standing ovation may have been out of the question.
I was quite overwhelmed, actually, when we first saw this house. The curb appeal was just out of this world.
I think with regards to the sticking points, I think it is, for us, the upstairs.
I'm really impressed how Kim and Emma took on board the merits of Ginny's first two lovely but very contrasting historic properties. As we all know, compromise is an inevitable part of the house hunting process, so they were going to need to keep their eyes wide open at the mystery house.
Having spent the first day of property searching inland, Ginny took our couple north to the village of Overstrand, where our mystery house was just a 5-minute walk from the beach.
Very nice. First impressions, it's lovely, and being so close to the coast.
Once a coach house for the local estate, this detached property was initially converted in the 1950s. Although it was quite sparsely furnished and decorated inside, there was plenty of evidence of its former life, not least in the open-plan living area.
There's no mistaking the fact that this was once a barn, is there?
No, not at all.
Got these amazing high ceilings.
Open plan again. Nice floor, like the floor. Log burner, Emma.
Yeah, that's so important.
The open layout of this area lent itself nicely to an entertaining environment. Set all on one level, beyond the kitchen was a modern bathroom with a separate shower and a total of 3 double bedrooms, all with views to the garden.
I feel like the garden's in there with you, isn't it?
It does, actually.
It's nice view. Some nice storage as well.
Yeah, this is a good sized room.
To the rear of the middle bedroom was a compact sunroom with access to outside. The south-facing garden was private and well-maintained, featuring a paved seating area and a small lawn. It was a peaceful haven in which to relax, but would have meant Emma putting those ride-on lawnmower plans on hold for the foreseeable.
This area here is lovely for entertaining, and I do like the flint walls. It's a nice area.
All the properties along here have gates that go on to a little footpath that goes down to the beach. So the fact that you can have that as well, that's a real bonus about the garden.
Oh, definitely.
So what do you think it's on the market for?
I'm going to go for £420,000.
OK.
I'm going to go for £440,000.
And actually, you both just missed the mark because it's bang on budget. It's £450,000.
I'm not surprised.
This detached barn's coastal location meant it was positioned right at the top of their budget.
I was hoping that it would be slightly under budget because there are some things I would like to do to the house, and it doesn't leave us with a great amount to play with.
Over the course of their 2-day expedition, Ginny tempted Kim and Emma with everything from that wonderful country chic cottage in a rural idyll to a characterful Tudor thatch and finishing with that charming coastal conversion. With each proposition came some form of compromise, so I'm eager to find out if they've managed to fulfil everything on their wish list.
Well, I'm in Norfolk, which can only mean one thing, that Kim and Emma did indeed make the move here. And we're back to see what kind of property they ended up buying. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Lovely to meet you. I'm really well. And look at this place. I'm glad you found somewhere.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, would you like to come and see?
Yes, please.
OK.
Kim and Emma got the keys to their new home in January 2021 and wasted no time getting settled.
Wow. Hey, you got the island.
We got the island.
So you've made it.
We've made it.
We have.
We've made it. Island in the kitchen was what we said that, we've made it if we've got that.
No, definitely. This was the room that sold the house to us as soon as we walked in, wasn't it?
I think we both walked in and could see ourselves instantly entertaining in this space.
It's huge. You could almost have a party in here.
Yeah,
Well, we
we have. A few already. And also I've got my beam.
You got your beam?
Yeah, the one and only beam of the house, but I got it.
It is a lovely one, though.
It is.
How old is the property?
It was built in 1980, so it is a newer property than we were originally looking for, but it had the characteristic features that we liked.
And it's quite a big driveway, walk-in. You do have the wow in all of that, don't you? And as I came in, I spotted the huge dining room. That's quite a feature.
Yeah, and it's great to have, again, to have the access of the kitchen straight through to the dining room if you've got guests, you know.
So if one of us is cooking, we're not miles away from everyone else and missing out on the
wine.
Yeah, and people do tend to just come and congregate in here, so it's great.
Yeah, we absolutely love it.
In addition to the separate dining room, downstairs also has a rather impressive living area.
So here's our lounge.
Well, about 3 lounges in one. It's
Yeah.
huge.
It's quite large, isn't it?
It's a very good entertaining space.
Yeah, I'm getting that theme from you two.
In the summer evenings, with the sun setting over there, it's actually beautiful to be in the dining room. The dining room's lovely in the winter, but in the summer, it's just a lovely spot to sit and watch the sun go down after you've had a glass of wine up on the pagoda. So, and then with the fire as well.
You got your fireplace.
We got the fire. So
achieving on all levels: the island, the fireplace,
the beam.
The beam, yeah. But the fire's lovely. You know, it's cosy. We sort of thought to start with, maybe with it being a little bit offset, it wouldn't be quite as cosy, but actually it's beautiful.
Is this property bigger than the 2 that you had?
Yes.
Way bigger.
That's why.
Yeah, we both had 2-bedroom houses.
Yeah. Are you using the rooms upstairs?
Yes. Yeah.
Lots of visitors?
Yes.
Can I go and have a little snoop?
Yes, by all means.
What a feature. That window says they've escaped to the country.
The first floor accommodates a whopping 5 bedrooms, lending itself nicely to hosting the couple's nearest and dearest. I'm intrigued to hear how they stumbled upon this perfect party palace. You did see some lovely houses when you were last on the show, but none of them were quite right, were they?
No, I mean, the first house we really, really did like, and I think if the garden had been out the back, it would have been great, and it was slightly a bit too rural. I mean, we wanted to sort of be part of a village community, but the house itself we were quite wowed, weren't we?
We certainly were, yeah.
So talk me through what happened once you left Ginny.
So we carried on our search. We came up
About a month later.
Yeah, a month later, and we had about another 10 houses to view. This was the second to last house that we viewed.
And we both walked in, and it was just that feeling that you get when you know it's right. It was just perfect, wasn't it?
It was, and it actually made me quite emotional. I came out into the garden, didn't I? And had a tear, and I've never felt like that about a property. And even when I've seen other people be like that, I was like, oh, seriously. But,
Yeah, what are they doing?
yeah, but we both knew, didn't we, that it was the house for us, and we had to do everything we possibly could to get it.
And I saw Emma crying, and I sort of said, "Oh, are you crying?" No. And she was like, no. But it was...
You're crying.
I knew. I mean, it was the house. It wasn't necessarily the house that I envisaged us buying, but I think the journey on Escape helped us to realise, actually, yes, you have got to compromise. And we'd always thought about compromising, but there were certain things, you know, like the thatched cottage, Emma's always dreamed about having this chocolate box cottage. And actually, when we went there, I think it actually made us realise that actually that wasn't what we wanted.
Your budget with Ginny was £450,000. So
Yes,
what
it
ended
was.
up happening with this?
So we ended up paying £450,000.
Yeah.
We did try to get a little bit cheaper, but there was no way, and we wanted the house so much, we just had to go for it.
But what made me laugh a little bit when I came out here is that you did compromise on the garden in the end.
I did. I mean, I'd always dreamt of having a couple of acres, a ride-on lawnmower. So that was the compromise for me. But actually, once we moved in, there's more than enough garden for us. So it was quite a good thing, really, that I didn't. We do need to make the garden a little bit more doggy-friendly.
I was expecting a dog to greet me at the door when I turned up earlier, but not quite yet.
No.
There will be little furry paws in this house at some
Yes.
point.
To satisfy her canine cravings, for the time being, Emma regularly helps out a friend with dog sitting. So they've arranged for me to meet up with cute little Murphy and his human companion, Bet, who Emma met through their hockey club more than 30 years ago.
So, Bet, be honest, how good are these two at being dog walkers?
The best. I have to say the best.
Really?
Really, honestly, the best. Yeah, I'm very lucky. We're very lucky that we've got these guys to rely on.
Yes, exactly. How often do you have Murphy?
I have him sort of up to 3 times a week, depending on how often the girls are playing golf. But I love it. It's great to, I can take him out to the beach and we go for nice walks together. So
it's becoming a joint custody situation, isn't it?
I do keep trying to steal him, but they keep coming back round for him.
How does all this compare to where you moved from?
There's no comparison really to what we had originally. You know, we were living under the Luton flight path and next door to the M1 basically, weren't we? You know, and you can hear how much noise there is here. That's what it's like all the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, no pollution, gorgeous number of beaches that we can go to, swim with the seals at, Horsey and places like that, and be down the road from friends who we now get on really well with and spend lots of time with. So it's been really good, isn't it?
Yeah, there's just no comparison really at all.
As well as walking Murphy, Kim and Emma both volunteer at Faith Rescue Centre, where they filmed with us a year ago, helping with not just dogs, but horses and donkeys too. It's wonderful to see how they've really embraced their new lives here.
You both had dreams of moving to Norfolk and you spoke about it on your first date. How does it now feel to have done it? You're here, you're living the life.
Absolutely amazing, isn't it? I can't believe that we've found this beautiful house in a beautiful village, in a beautiful county, that we can afford now to have a better balance of our life and, make sure that it's stress-free and spend a bit of time together, really.
I still have to pinch myself that I'm actually here and...
Pinch her. She's here.
But it is, I wake up in the mornings and I just feel so lucky that this time last year, I was in a job that I wasn't particularly enjoying and now we're here and it's great.
We appreciate everything that we've got and we're going to enjoy the rest of our life, aren't we?
Yes, most definitely.
Kim and Emma's search ended up becoming about finding a property in a great location, while Jenny and Steve's was about finding one with great potential. So if you're thinking about a new life in the countryside, it may be worth taking a leaf out of both of their books. Make a list of everything you want from a new home, figure out the best and most important feature, put it right at the top, in bold, underline it a few times, and you never know. It may help you realise your dream, just like today's couples have. There you go, a bit of free escape advice while I say goodbye to Norfolk for now. See you soon.
If you also dream of escaping to the country in England, Wales, Scotland or Northern Ireland and would like our help, why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/take part.